Okay, now we're going to look at another kind of smart trigger type. This one's called a dropout. So first we need to put in another kind of arbitrary waveform from our generator. So let's have a look at this. Okay, here it is, as you can see, untriggered. So let's stop. Okay, let's zoom in and have a closer look. So we need to analyze this thing. Looks like we've got 6 bursts. Yep, okay. And followed by a long gap. So let's say we want to trigger the gap. Okay, for example, that's our problem. So we have to set the cursors first, because we have to measure the width of the burst and the gap. So we set our first cursor. Let's zoom in a bit there, okay. We set our first cursor to the rising edge. Okay. Then x2, our second cursor, we set to the rising edge of the second burst. And we can measure. Looks like it's about 100. Let's just call it 100. Okay, so we have to remember that number. Now, let's measure the gap. So, rising edge of the last burst to the first rising edge of the first burst right after the gap, okay? So it looks like we're at about 500, 504, close enough. So that means we have to set our time, our trigger time to, first let's set the trigger type to dropout, which is what we'll need to do this. Our source is channel 1, good. Slope rising, yes. Okay, the overtime, yep, edge. Now the time, okay, we need to adjust that to somewhere between 100 and 500. Because we want to trigger right in that gap. So, we adjust the time. Okay. We need to get to over 100 microseconds. So, okay, 50, 60, almost there. 90, and yes. Okay, so now we are triggered at 108. Okay. So, if we keep going, we can just keep scrolling up to 500 and see where it becomes untriggered again if we feel like it. Okay, so 511, 510, untriggered, and then should be triggered soon. Yep, there we go. 505. Okay. So now we've isolated our gap, and that's how we use dropout trigger.